Good morning, my dear students. This is Marab Sarhan. Today, inshallah, we will continue our lessons. In Unit 6, Lesson 2, we will be discussing some grammar points and going through student book page 69, exercise 6, and then we go to workbook, page 53, exercises 4, 5, 6, and these will be the objectives of today's lesson. Okay. Now, I need you to open your student's book to page 69. We will cover exercise 6. Before I start, I just want to remind you of the uses of models as we explained in the previous lesson, the uses of may to express the possibility, the might to. When you ask for a permission, you are going to use may. When you are giving permission, you are going to use may not. For giving advice, you are going to use should or ought to or ought not to. And for a prediction, you are going to use should. Okay? So now let's go to this exercise. Here, you are going to use these models in these sentences. I just want to remind you of one of these tips, that always use verb 1, which is the infinitive, with these verbs. Okay. I'm going to answer the first one, then I will leave the rest to you to do it yourself, then to check the answers with. Okay, so Lynn gardening. The answer is might take up gardening. So my dear students, pause the video at this moment, do the rest of these sentences yourself, then check the correct answers here with me. Let's go to number 2. You don't eat enough vegetables. We are asked here to use should. You vegetables. You should eat more vegetables. Okay. Number 3. It's possible that garlic is good for you. Garlic, good for you. The answer is garlic may be good for you. 4. Why don't they go on a first aid course? Here, the answer is they ought to go on a first aid course. Okay. 5. Is it a good idea for me to eat fish? The answer is should I eat fish? The last sentence, you worry too much about your weight. You ought not to worry so much about your weight. So, write down the correct answers, and then we are going to move to workbook exercises on page 53. Okay, let's go. Okay, my dear students, open your workbook to page 53. We're going to cover exercises 4, 5, 6. Number 4, match these sentences together. As it is shown here, the first one, Jolie might go on a diet next week. This is possibility. The uses of might. So, match the correct answers, each sentence with the function given of the uses of these models, and I'm going to show you the correct answer. You may do it yourself and then check the correct answers with me. Here we go. These are the correct answers. Take your time matching them together, choose the correct answers, and then let's go to the next one. Okay. Now, number 5. Number 5, you are asked here, as you can see here, write questions and short answers using the words given. Again, we are going to use models to write questions for these sentences. Check all of them. Let's go with number 1. I should cut down on salt. Should I cut down on salt? Yes, you should. You may do the rest yourself, as we practiced earlier on these models uses, and then I'm going to show you the correct answers. Let's go. So these are the correct answers. Write the answers down in your workbook, and we may proceed to the last exercise. For the last exercise, as it is shown here, circle the sentences A or B that means the same as the first sentence. Let's read the first one. He might take a job in a health food store. The answer, it's possible that he'll begin working in a health food store. I'm going to ask you, my dear students, here to match each one with the function given, writing them down, then come back to check the correct answers. And here we go, let me show you the correct ones. So these are the correct answers. So that was all for today's lesson. Thank you so much for being with me. See you inshallah soon.